now you wilded.
Look at you now, man.
Only once or twice.
It gets stuck in your head, man. I swear to God.
I know, it's just Euro trash. Just repeating
Some
nonsense in your
dangerous shit,
head.
man. That's some dangerous
It
shit.
is
Euro
dangerous.
recycle.
Yeah, Euro recycle.
It ain't that good, bro. Recycle. Maybe it is recycle. It's coming back.
Yeah.
No,
Speaking of
there's no way.
people who are back,
Malcolm's back, man. What the fuck?
How's it going, man?
Where you been?
missed a popular episode, man.
You-
It's
you
blowing
coulda had
up
your
right
face.
now.
I know I
don't
missed
even
all
know
the
who you
popular.
is.
Maybe I should just stop showing up.
You can run the cameras if you
Yeah, I should run the camera.
Hey, man.
Man,
if
you
you
guys-
don't want to be on camera, man, we got a job for you.
want.
Yeah, man.
We're always, sorry. Go ahead.
Living. No, I was a little bit busy last week, but we good. We good. I like
Okay,
to.
you all right? You know?
Yeah, I'm good. We're good, man. I'm good. What I like to avoid a little controversy. So when things start blowing up, I like to not be a part of it. I just like to be after
Affiliated.
Yeah, affiliated. Oh, wasn't that happened on that podcast? Well, I wasn't there.
What did it? I didn't watch that episode.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really watch the episode.
I don't watch any of the episodes. I'm
But,
there. I'm
yeah.
there 90% of the time. The other 10%, I'm not there. I'm still not watching that. I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't watch it either.
I wouldn't know.
Well, I would. I do.
I know the gist of what's usually going on.
What's something crazy?
Hope so.
Hmm?
Nothing.
Nothing crazy.
Like a gorilla burst in the room or something.
That would be, I don't know.
And you would miss out.
That would be, yeah, I would be like, I don't
That
I don't think I
would
would
not
watch it.
wanna
I think it would be
come
less enticing to watch it. Because that feels
What?
like,
No.
that would feel like one of those, like, just random late
It's like
night.
SpongeBob.
No, not like SpongeBob.
That
like a
happened in
fuck.
SpongeBob.
I know that happened.
This was the lost episode.
That whole anthology was fucking weird. That's like one of those late night,
Patchy.
like Adult Swim cartoons that like you can't quite remember. There's a little bit of context here and there, but once you explain it to people,
Yeah.
I remember all
once you
of them.
tell people, they're like, maybe. I'd watch that too. Maybe.
There's too many of those.
There's too many.
Yeah. Well, other than that, though, you've been good.
Yeah.
Coming back here with full force of sockage and shirtage.
Sockage? Is that Picasso? What is it?
I got you them socks.
Shirtage. Yeah. So
With the drip.
came through.
Mm-hmm.
My
You still
CBL shirt.
Follow ABC Co.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
You follow them too?
Mm-hmm.
And you both know what I'm talking about.
No.
Those Crocs. Those carrot Crocs.
Oh
my God. I
carries my
wanted them.
Anwar Crocs.
I haven't seen
Fuck.
anything of that. I was like, oh, size 12? Oh. Low-key, I want those. Those look nice.
They're pretty sweet.
Right?
Those are old. I think they're old. I don't know if they got re-released, but yeah, they're pretty sweet. The carrot, you got the little carrot giblets and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or gibbets or whatever. Those are pretty sweet.
The what?
Gibbets.
I
said
didn't know what they
giblets.
were called, but
Giblets?
I just went with it.
That's what I originally called it. It's giblets, but they're gibbets.
Gibbets.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what
He
they
doesn't like Crocs. Crocs are awesome. Especially
I'm
for like
on-
going
I'm
into
with
the
you.
garage shoe. I'm not talking about like wearing out in public, but like great going out to the garage barbecue.
See, that's the thing.
You
I
can't
don't
beat it.
That's not what he was trying to like
sell to
sell
you.
to you. He was trying to sell me as
Lake
like a
shoes?
shoe, like a utility shoe. he was trying
No.
to say.
It is a
Look, bro,
utility
No, I
shoe.
remember because
Just
Dylan was.
flip it up. I
You
got
got the
Yeah, you
sport
got the
mode.
sport mode.
Sport
Sport
mode.
mode is
Yeah, you're
great.
trying to tell me it's the utility.
I'm saying
shoe.
you don't have to wear it, but I definitely would wear it to the club. Like, especially if I got this carrot
That's-
Crocs. Oh, I'd be wearing
Yo,
those.
They would
that
let
should-
you
out.
in. They would let you in.
That should be a night. You throw one of those,
Croc night.
Croc night, you would sell out.
How about
You would sell out.
Croc and socks night? You have to wear Crocs, or you can wear Crocs and socks. Free drink.
you have to have socks regardless.
Yeah, nobody wants to see your feet.
Oh,
through
No.
those.
The socks are the incentive for people to get a free drink.
Oh, you have to have socks for
Yeah,
the free drink.
for the free drink. So then everybody.
They have to
will.
be cool socks.
Yeah, you have to come with the sock game. Your Croc game's got to be up.
Yeah.
Because then you get some. There's a couple Crocs out there that's like, all right, maybe those are passable. There's
you get a lot of the camo ones.
Yeah, you get a lot of the fucking camo ones, or the white ones, or any of the other colors.
I used to have the ugly like turquoise green one.
The Salem Burberry ones, or Bremberry ones, or the okay ones.
We were talking about Crocs, right?
There's another one that's like the
Fucking-
Post Malone ones. We got like
What do you
Post
mean
Malone's
Post
got a
Malone?
pair. Justin Bieber's got a pair. Diplo's
You
got
could
a
have a
pair.
pair.
Okay, name me a black person.
With a pair.
Fair.
I don't know the pair. Salem Bremberry.
Sorry, Justin Bieber and Diplo.
Salem
Where's the
Bremberry.
Kanye West collab? Where's the Yeezy
Yuck.
Croc?
How about where the
Yeah,
slide?
Nah.
If you want the Yeezys,
What?
go wear the slides.
Yuck.
I want the Croc, man.
I saw somebody
Traction
wearing
is
those.
foremost.
You want the good slides?
The slides today.
Yeah, I've seen people wearing them.
I'm
They're
like,
disgusting.
why?
Today,
Yeah, today.
it's kind of mucky out to be wearing that shit.
I know.
What is the best everyday shoe?
To like,
The Roches,
what do you mean? To like just do anything?
Nike Roches.
Yeah, like to slip on, go anywhere. You're kind of prepared for anything. A great all around shoe.
Nike Roches
Come
with
from-
fly knits. Nike fly knits.
I would go with probably a pair of New Balances.
New Balance 550s. They're expensive.
I don't know if you do
the
the.
equation.
Huh?
The Skechers fall into the
Ooh,
equation.
I feel like a Sketcher.
That-
You probably could do
They're
some
pretty
Skechers.
comfortable.
You could do a Sketcher.
You
Some
could,
of the Sketchers are alright.
You could do a comfortable sketch.
I could see a Sketcher going in there. I feel like another shoe. What's an everyday shoe you could wear? I feel like just an Air Force. Of course.
Air Force is
Air Force
too
One.
clunky for me.
Too clunky.
Yeah,
That's fair.
too
Kind
big,
of, yeah.
too clunky.
I can see
I
that.
need some slim. But actually, hey man, the Dreamers.
You
is
don't
nice.
wear slim shoes.
The Dreamers is crazy. The Dreamers are the most comfortable shoes I have. Huh?
You don't usually wear slim
Mm,
shoes.
Only the Roches. Those are my
Generally,
slimmest shoes.
Big shoe man.
I'm a big shoe
I
man.
like the slim fitting.
I got a
pointy
big foot.
shoes,
You want me to? What do
like
you
an
want me
elf.
to? You like an elf though?
Hey, Dylan could really live in Jamaica, like, cause they wear.
They wear those
They wear
curled
that.
toes,
They got the long
curled
shoes. With your,
fucking-
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
bro. If you want to live that
you
life,
could. You got the Clarks already. You already got the fucking half the sauce
may as well
right there.
just go
Need a
to
plane
Jamaica.
ticket.
Yeah.
may as well just move out there. Either way, just start speaking patois from now. Ting,
If you go
ting.
now, by the time you're 30, you'll be fluent.
It's true.
You'll be good.
Come back with dreads.
You think I'm
Brace.
coming back?
Shit.
Blood clot.
Jesus, that would be a very different Dylan. He's have to go to Toronto.
I hope not.
Turn into a whole.
I hope
different
that's
Dylan.
not Toronto, Dylan.
No.
No.
Toronto Dylan's.
Toronto Dylan's the same.
Yeah, it's
I hope so.
Post it up like Batman.
Yeah.
Robert Patterson
In the alleys.
in the
In the
alley.
tracksuit.
In the
Yeah,
tracksuit.
the tracksuit
Yeah,
with
in
the
tracksuit.
cornrows.
Yeah, the tracksuit with the cornrows. Yeah, that's how you post it up at the
That's-
party. That's how you post it up at the party, man. And it's the funniest. He did that stance unknowingly. I think that was today. That was today, right?
Yeah.
See, it's funny.
I can see it.
It's funny.
100% I can see it, yo.
It is.
You're
talking
to the top dog in the building right now, yo. SP, fam.
Did you see the new Batman?
Yo.
Did you see the new Batman?
No, I haven't seen it, Batman.
All right,
Is
well,
it good?
let's hit some spoilers up for the peeps that have seen it. I have not seen it.
No, not spoiled.
Wait, what?
Is it good?
Great movie.
Too long, but good movie.
It is very long.
Good movie, but too long. Longer than it needs to be, but great movie. Dylan fell asleep.
I felt
You didn't watch the movie.
Dylan fell asleep, and he didn't just fall asleep. He started snoring.
Damn.
I never snore. I never snore.
How you
I don't
know-
know why.
That's how you know that shit was boring.
No.
Was it just like plot? Like a lot of
There's a lot of
A
plot.
lot of plot,
It's a lot of
building up, kind of establishing storylines, stuff like that. And it was our first time going to Landmark Cinemas.
I think I
We
Dylan
went
splurged.
premium, with reclining, had the heat on. Oh man, pass out in
Dylan-
a second.
that's
bro.
Dylan's-
I was fighting it before that too.
Oh man, yeah.
Give
Landmarks
Dylan
will get
heated
to you.
seats. It's over. Man.
I mean,
Yeah.
they're nice. You know, you get to sit in the
They're
back.
nice, and Every scene in there was nice. That's a nice theater.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can
You
go
went to
back
the one
to
down here,
Cineplex.
the one
Yeah.
Tamarack? Yeah, that was nice because it's so new. And you self-serve everything.
Yeah, I like
You
Yeah.
don't have to fucking wait for
I like
anybody.
that. I
That's
like
the best part.
I don't like waiting for people.
The only thing you have to wait for is in line. Did you get drinks?
Yeah, man. No line. What line?
Hmm?
Line was non-existent for the drinks. It was good.
You should just
There
go
was
in
line.
there and act oblivious.
Huh?
Go pick out a popcorn drink and just start trying to walk in.
Hey, whoa.
I have to pay? Oh, yeah.
I
thought it came out on my card. He
Yeah.
automatically throws an Amazon. Fuck.
thought this was like the new Amazon store.
Yeah.
You guys should get on that, eh? Mm-hmm.
That would be the future.
But yeah, back to Batman. So pretty much, I don't know if you know the spoiler alert, but
What?
his
What are you
parents
spoiling?
die. His parents get
sorry.
killed.
Right. You don't need to see it now.
That was all the build-up was for
Yeah.
his parents to die.
No, I like that they didn't show that again.
Yeah, me too.
And they just kind of started with him.
They
as,
gave
like,
it a
more
fresh take. Not
young
really fresh, but
20s, maybe late
Yeah,
20s.
nice young Batman Beyond, aged, maybe a little older than that.
I will
Batman.
say this: there's one cop in there. I don't know why they cast it.
What
He
do you
sounds
want
like
from me?
Mickey Mouse.
How you gonna get this done, Batman?
Like every
What are
part
you
of
gonna
the
do,
movie
Batman?
is serious,
Oh,
except
really?
this guy and his voice. He
really?
sounds like Mickey Mouse.
What's his name? The detective that works with Batman all the time.
Gordon.
Gordon. Really, Gordon? Really, Gordon? That's how you gonna do it? You gonna trust this guy? I've heard of
Yeah.
his stuff before, and I just don't understand how he gets
Comedic-
cast in anything.
Comedic relief.
I don't even know if that it didn't feel it. Like it was tense.
No.
They were tense moments. They weren't comedy.
They were tense
They were
moments.
tense
And he was
moments.
squeaky. They might
I don't
have
know, I
the brother
just-
from Raymond.
And then that's what got
What do
me.
you mean, Gordon?
No, we're not going there. That's what got me when I'm going back to that. That's what got me showing you 8 Crazy Nights.
Hey, crazy. Yeah.
Have you seen 8 Crazy Nights?
I don't think so.
He's not Jewish.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to. You don't have to be Jewish to watch 8 Crazy Nights, man.
Have you seen that Mel Gibson movie?
What Mel Gibson?
The one
movie?
where he's Jesus?
No, I'm not Christian.
Oh, this is like the
See?
Adam Sandler
That's
one.
different.
Dude,
You know 8 Crazy Nights. You seen that?
No, I don't think so.
I'm the
Mm.
kind of guy that can't stand on.
I've actually never heard of it before you talked about it.
It's a fucking great movie. You guys should check it out. If you haven't, they're out there. People watching.
I feel like musicals.
It's not just a musical, dickhead. This
Might as well
guy,
watch
I tell him
Hamilton.
I shouldn't even told you it was a musical. You know,
Hamilton.
Yeah.
well, I've never watched that shit.
Love
I've
Hamilton,
never
bro.
ever
You
watched.
see
And
this
don't
guy.
be trying to fucking point
He
Hamilton on
loves
me.
Hamilton, bro.
I have never ever watched, nor have I listened to, nor have I seen Hamilton. I think it's the cheesiest shit.
I don't know what's that.
Alexander Burr, whatever the fuck. I don't know.
what that is,
I don't
bro.
know what
I
that
didn't know
is.
what it was. See,
I was
what
just
is it?
quoting it.
Because
Quoting it,
they
see?
was because they're quoting it on fucking Flagrant 2. These niggas going watching that stupid shit. I ain't trying to watch that though. I'm telling you right now, man. I don't watch no Hamilton. I don't care about no Hamilton. You watching Hamilton and K-pop? Ain't nobody here.
I am watching it, but I'm not watching Hamilton.
What?
So keep that wrapped up.
Are their music videos cool?
No,
Yes,
they're all the same.
of course.
They have lots of money behind them.
Yeah, of course. What do you mean?
How do you feel about Korea?
How do I feel about Korea?
Do you feel
Which
like there
one?
should be a divide?
A divide
Between the North and
the
South?
countries?
The North and the South.
I know, I guess. If they're different countries, sure.
What does that mean if they're different countries?
Yeah.
They're the same country. Same
No,
or
the
same people.
land mass. Are we the same country?
Yeah, no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. Same landmass.
Yeah, but we're the same land mass as the U.S. But
But we're not the
different
same as
countries.
the U.S.
Or exactly. We're not the
Do
same
we have
people.
more?
Yeah, it's your own question.
We have what?
We have more,
What?
right?
More
In the
what?
US?
More what? People?
Landmass.
Yeah.
Yes, we have more landmass. We're the second largest landmass in the world.
Besides
Russia.
Mm-hmm.
But we have
Where does China
a
fit in?
much less
Third.
population. They're
Third.
third.
Yeah.
And then what? India? Or America?
I don't think so.
America?
Who knows? Probably Brazil.
Australia?
What about population? China, number one.
China?
I think
India?
India's first.
India.
Yeah,
Is India
India,
first?
China, and then America. You have a computer right there.
I'm wondering about your take.
my
it's,
take. That's
It's,
my
I think
take.
it's India has
my
1.7
feeling.
billion, and then China has like 1.6.
This is my
1.5.
feeling, no fact.
And then as far as like, what are we saying? Fourth for landmass? I think fifth for landmass.
Number 1, China. Number 2,
India.
Oh.
United
Number
States.
3, States.
Indonesia.
Number 4, Indonesia. Number 5, Pakistan. 6, Brazil.
Really? 5 is
7,
Pakistan? Holy shit.
Nigeria. 8, Bangladesh. 9, Russia. 10, Mexico. 11, Japan. 12, Ethiopia. 13, Philippines. 14,
Russia has like
Egypt.
167 million
15,
Yeah.
Vietnam.
How you guys feel about this war?
In Vietnam?
Yeah.
Shit, it ended a while ago.
Did it? Thought we were still there, boys.
Yeah. Well, be surprised.
Okay, so that's what I thought. I'm not surprised by none of that.
That's what you thought. Yep. The war? You want to know about?
The
What-
war,
what
the
are we talking
landmass, the
Oh, we want to
population
know
of-
about landmass too before we get to
No,
the...
what
What are we talking
what
about?
are you
here?
unsurprised about?
The populations. I
Oh,
knew that was how it's going to play out. China, India, United States. Indonesia kind of surprised me. Pakistan maybe surprised me too because I didn't think that there are that many Pakistani people. But being so close to India, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are willing to fuck them up, so it's kind of makes sense. How many people does Pakistan have? Probably like what, in the range of 200 million?
220 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, good guess.
It's just like,
Um,
that's such a gap between
Mhm.
the U.S. and India. It's like
Yeah,
1 billion
300
people and it's like 300,000 people.
yeah.
Yeah, 300, not 1,000 million.
That's 300 million people.
331 million.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of people. But then you have 1.8 billion people.
like
I don't understand that type of people. Like, and they don't live in the biggest landmass. They'll go landmass now.
yeah, because China and India cram a lot of people into a small amount of place. China
builds up.
yeah, but China also has a lot of areas that are just abandoned too.
Yeah,
right?
Russia,
true.
number 2, Canada. Or it says we're tied with the States.
Huh?
3.8 million square miles.
Both?
It says both.
Even?
Look, it says even
What?
second. And then 4th, China.
Oh, because they took Alaska.
No, but it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure we still have more. It's
We have to
probably
have
'cause
more. We don't have more usable land, probably. The fucking
we probably don't, we don't nearly have as much. No, because that one says
Yeah.
China's third.
This one says China's 3rd and the United States is
Okay,
4th.
yeah, we're second. What the fuck was that saying?
I
Look
think
at-
it's I think some of it's like land
Look
area
at
versus
total
like land
area
mass.
in kilometers, but land area
Yeah,
is about exactly the same.
yeah.
What is a land area?
Actually, United States has a bit more than States or us. Then, if we look at it,
I think land area is like usable land. think
That's
that's
what I
what
mean,
it is,
right? Like,
dude.
it's half of us is ice. Just
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
ice age up there, bro. People that live in the Yukon don't make sense to me. And you Northwest Territories people. I hope big ups to you though. You guys are doing it, man. But you get paid to be out there.
If I can go back in time, I'd tell my grandfather, keep moving till you see palm trees.
You don't fuck with the cold?
I don't fuck with the cold at all, man.
You don't like skiing, snowboarding, and all that? And
I
You
do.
like snowmobiling?
I do if I was fatter. I just don't have the body fat.
I feel that.
I just freeze.
I feel that. I feel the same way. I usually have to layer up a lot of things
Yeah.
in order to just feel kind of warm.
Mm-hmm.
This place is fucked. I hate this place. I'd love to live somewhere where it's 20 fucking degrees, 24
Oh,
to
right.
7.
Total areas including water areas within international boundaries and coastlines. Land
Mm.
area is all physical land within the area.
So then what about all up at the top, man? If you were to look at a map, you would think Canada looks bigger than the States, no?
Maps are
Maps are
disproportionate.
disproportionate. Because like
They've measured every single square inch of kilometer of land.
I guess a lot of it.
I don't like human beings.
Mhm.
And they've measured a lot of the areas have actually been mapped out and somewhat
The
measured.
one guy rolls out with that wheel.
Yeah, but I mean, also you have to convert it between miles and kilometers, and then some people do the math wrong, so then sometimes it can get messed up. But
That shouldn't be an issue in this day and age, though.
not in this day and age. But remember, maps were drawn by hand. by people looking at having to guess what the area looks like.
Well, then we've gone off satellite images.
Yeah.
How the fuck did people draw maps back in the day? Cartographer. How do you trust that? I would imagine the guy. You get it and you draw it wrong, and how would you? Then your whole career is over, right? Like you only get one chance.
Yeah.
You draw that shit wrong, like you're leading the king, and the peeps all into a ambush or
Well, like that's what
off the edge of the earth back in the day. You never know.
Yeah, that's like I don't know. That's what I've always thought about. That's a crazy job that you have to somebody had to physically draw the land, and have a good sense of proportion of this island's over here, and it's this is roughly the distance between the two of them, or you know what I mean. So it's kind of weird, but I mean people are also more attentive to things like that. You know what I mean? You had a better sense of
Would you try to do that?
Huh? I know. Fuck no. Absolutely not.
You just have to follow the coast, right?
Yeah, you have to follow the coast.
But how do you draw that?
Yeah, you have to kind of know how the land. You have to be on the coast. You have to understand how it works from the coast, and then also be in the ocean and read that way. Compass. So then you have to kind of
Yeah, but how do you draw the land?
He means you know how they're pretty rugged, and you have to be able to measure it from both sides and have an aerial view of it too.
Yeah, you have to be high. You have to be from the mountain.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It's we could map. I could map this room sitting from here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Or I could do it from over there and give you a sense of proportion from a first person perspective. But it's a bird's eye view, right? But if you think about it, could you map the distance of your entire neighborhood from a bird's eye view properly
to scale?
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what it's kind of
not scale, sorry, but to direct
well, yeah, to a scale.
Yeah, to a scale.
Yeah, so you have to put it on a scale and be this is every inch is a kilometer or whatever. You know what I mean? So then you have to do that. It's fucking weird. It's weird shit.
I don't like that. Let's get off that and let's get back onto Russia. Russia's a good place. You guys want to move there? You were talking about living in Russia.
I'm still thinking about it, actually.
You still thinking about it?
Yeah, I'm still looking good right now.
Looking good.
Looking good. No Instagram.
All
that shit, man.
Facebook. No. Oh, they still got WhatsApp.
No, but they made piracy legal. So
you can pirate. You can pirate video games.
Yeah,
I'm already not doing that. And then, you may as well just go there, enslave a couple white women and continue living your life, right?
No.
No, that's not how it works?
No.
That's not how Russia works?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen.
It's not like Saudi Arabia. What?
I don't know what's going to happen.
What's going to happen? Yeah, do you guys feel like we're going to die?
Nope. I don't think we're going to go. I don't think it's going to get to a nuclear war. I don't know.
You don't think it's our time? It's really, really getting there. You know that, right?
It's
I know you don't pay attention to the news, but the news is.
I haven't looked at it in a while, but I have.
I got my hunches.
I got my feeling. I know nuclear. When it's a nuclear war, your knees kind of tingle, man.
My guy will call me. My nuclear guy will call me. He hasn't said nothing to me yet, so I'm not worried.
I don't know if it's gonna end up in a nuclear battle, but I don't know. There's some weird stuff. There's a lot of propaganda going out
on both sides.
The big talk about now is the biolabs in Ukraine.
I didn't hear about that. Go ahead, tell me about it.
There's a bunch of biolabs in Ukraine that are funded by the U.S. government to help build them, and they say they're level 2 or whatever. They're only for food and stuff to track that, but Russia and China saying that they're using this to work on deadly pathogens and stuff like that, and Russia is trying to take them over, but U.S. is saying no, we don't have any pathogens, but it's opposite scale. So
yeah,
it's who do you really believe?
That's the thing.
Because U.S. would never admit it, even if they did. But at the same time, it's a great pushing factor for China and Russia to use.
Yeah,
exactly. Give me another one. That one doesn't hold water for me.
What do you mean if they Yeah, that's a good one. Like biological warfare too is like it's kind of big.
In
like,
Ukraine though, that's where you're gonna do it.
Yeah, it makes.
You know what?
Makes the most sense.
If something were to go wrong, it's right there.
Exactly.
It's gonna fuck them up.
That's that. I mean, it makes the most sense because.
Well, they want. We know why they want Ukraine. Everybody knows why they want Ukraine, right?
Why do they want Ukraine?
For like war, specifically. If they take over Ukraine, like then they're good. If Ukraine sides with NATO, which they've been trying to do for how long, they get in there. Now NATO's right at the doorstep of Russia. But if not, then they take Ukraine. Now, if they have war with the United States or with anybody, unless it's China or whatever, but you would have to go through Ukraine in order to get into Russia. So they would have control of there and Crimea and be able to just defend a small border, which they have like a huge mountain range that also extends on the southwest side. So they only would have to just do that. It's just there's a bunch of other reasons. There's natural resources and all this other shit, but that's one of the biggest reasons. I think they usually
go through Poland because that's how Germany went through Russia.
Well, yeah, that's how they would have to go. You have to go from Poland to Ukraine, and if they took Ukraine, then that's the only way through. So.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, it's that, and then like as well, it's like Russia, obviously, because they're like communist.
Well, it's old.
They don't want
Kyiv,
the Western.
Bro.
Yeah, they don't want like Western ideas, like essentially like getting into there.
You guys know about the Ghost of Kyiv?
The Ghost of Kiev, the fighter pilot.
Yeah, he's not real.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
Fucking lie.
No.
That's why he's a ghost.
You know about him?
No.
No, it's not real. What was it again? Did you hear the story?
It was like some guys like
flew through and took down like
three or four jets
like by himself. And
It was fake.
Yeah, not real. Something to inspire the people.
I think Ukraine should just
give up.
Surrender. Yeah.
No.
Like
that's probably the worst option
I don't
for them to do.
Like, between that or starting a world war.
I don't know what to.
I think that's the better option.
I don't know what the best.
I think that like they would not really, Russia wouldn't really try to go into World War because like they don't have like they don't have a lot of backing from like China or
yes,
like,
they do.
The Taliban or anything. Not really, because like China's
they do
like
right now. They do right now.
China,
the only reason that they talked to China about this whole thing, and China was just like, just wait till after the Olympics, and then they did.
Yeah, they said that, but like China hasn't been like, China has still kind of like been like, well, like it's maybe you should go through this through like conversation rather than through warfare, right? That's why like they wouldn't.
Well, nobody wants to see war, right?
Yeah.
War just turns into
everything else. Like of course, if they went into war, but China would back them, of course, right? But like,
history repeats itself.
Yeah, like if the Ukraine surrendered, it wouldn't be good for a lot of like European countries in the sense that like essentially what what Russia would do would
start encroaching.
They would just dissolve the government, and then they would put their own government, essentially dissolve it, and then allow every province to govern itself. So then they could just control and like place their own people in there. Have like a Russian regime in like every single province.
Well, they already have that in 2 parts of Ukraine.
Yeah, 3 parts.
The resistance, and then Crimea.
Yeah, Crimea, and then those 2 provinces.
2 Russian resistance regimes, but or not resistance, the Russian regimes. Yeah. They shouldn't surrender because I just don't see them stopping. Like not now. They'll stop, but they're not gonna give up. Like they're just gonna keep going.
Yeah, that's the point where we have to
intervene.
Look at it, because I don't know. There's
what do you think?
So much on the line.
Who's winning right now?
And like the way we structured our deals, that NATO's acting like they can make their own energy, and that we're like set up for this
without Russia.
And I think like Biden is fucking up too.
See, they didn't do the Keystone, man.
Didn't do the Keystone, didn't do all that, and like inflation's been going through the roof even before this war, and it's been going up in the States, and recently there is the leaders in Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates.
Mm-hmm.
They like usually it's like scheduled phone calls and stuff like that with presidents and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't answer. They said they're too busy.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to Joe Biden.
Mm-hmm.
When it was they had set up this meeting about energy and stuff, and that's where we get a lot of our oil from, right?
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of talk about them switching their currency to the Chinese yen and selling it, and it's always been through the US dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And if that happens,
Done.
oil prices and gas prices are going to skyrocket
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, and that's a different world.
Mm-hmm.
How much is the yen to the US dollar?
I think U.S. dollar is still stronger than the yen, but I don't even think they're that close, honestly.
0.0085.
Yeah, so it's not even a cent.
Yeah.
It's like 1 cent to
Yeah.
a US dollar. But
But doing that would improve it a lot.
it would improve it, yeah. But I think that like when you switch oil, like when they switch currencies like that, what it allows them to do is essentially like stock up on like foreign currency. That's what like Russia has. Like
Lots
That's
of
why-
foreign.
yeah,
That's why
Russia-
they're good right now.
yeah, they have lots of like foreign currency so they could buy oil. The other thing with the energy thing is that because Russia, like it won't be that bad here, but in like Europe, it's really bad because Russia like owns and maintains like 60% of like the
Yeah.
oil and like corn and like a lot of resources. Like Germany like single-handedly only relies on Russian power because they have no form of power in their country. So if they started a war, Russia would just cut off their power.
Well,
then
I
Germany
think they
would be
did
useless.
stop. Did they stop yet? Germany?
No,
They're
they
still using Russian
they have
oil.
to. They have no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't
that's
really
so
have a
stupid.
choice to
One-
use it,
One
right?
pipeline going in there.
Mm-hmm.
But like no, it's not even like oil. It's like energy. It's
Right,
like
yeah,
electricity.
and
Like yeah, they
everything.
can't even like. There's nothing they can do. They literally have to rely on like Russia in order to get power into their country. I feel like a lot of people think that like, if Russia won, they would just keep going. I feel like what they're just essentially trying to create like a block, right? Like they're trying to create this like curtain like around them. As long as they're like NATO can stay as far like west as possible. They can take all those countries west, but like once it becomes like really close to their country, it like kind of feels like a threat to them. That's why I feel like like they took Georgia like a couple years ago, and then now they're at least forcing the Ukraine to the Ukraine to remain out of like NATO because like it's like that fear of like Western powers entering their country, and then like it could force their government to essentially dissolve, or it would allow people to essentially like be like, oh, we could live in the West, and then we would leave and they'd be deported and shit like that, right? That's why I kind of think it's interesting. I heard that like actually I forgot what I was gonna say. Never mind. I totally forgot what I was gonna say.
Have you seen the Z symbol?
No, I don't know what that is.
Symbol?
Mhm.
It's like been like a big talk of controversy,
Mhm.
and nobody really knows what it is exactly. But like in recent, all the convoys like of the Russian tanks and all their military stuff, there's big Z painted on the front and back of their military equipment, and there's no Z in the Russian alphabet, and so like they related it to some words which like meant some things, but like the best guess is it's like their symbol for like freedom, which pretty much is turning into like the new swastika symbol. Just their like symbol.
It's just
of
a
freedom.
Z. That's just half of the fucking swastika.
Pretty much, yeah. They're displaying that. I'm like, it's not looking good.
Yeah, the way that they're moving is very Nazi-ish, and
But-
they're trying to say that there's a bunch of Nazis in Ukraine.
Yeah, but apparently, this came out. This is like coming out from Russia because like Western media is all pulled out of Russia and it's all banned, right?
Yeah.
And so they're not. So it's pretty much free reign, and it's like looking more and more like North Korea there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's free reign for their government to show them what they want, and apparently this is their like freedom symbol that they're like broadcasting.
Yeah.
And so a lot of like I saw some videos where like kids in schools are like lining up and making like a big Z out of people and stuff like that.
Are you
Yeah.
Showing
serious?
support.
Yeah.
Because like that's what happens when you get cut off from the other world. And then they turn into a North Korea, and you're like, oh, they're doing nuclear tests.
That's a
It might be a
gigantic
problem.
North Korea, man.
Right?
And they're friends with North Korea.
That's what it was like in the Soviet Union, right?
Yeah, it was very much like that.
Same thing, right? It's just like that's like the only way you can control like,
that mass amount of people,
right? Like you have to like be in control of the media outlet, because if they like saw the shit that like we're seeing, and like especially like the way that they're kind of bombing like civilian centers and stuff like that, like they're doing it obviously to break people down, right? Of course, but like if like you witness that, like if we got into war with like a country, you know what I mean, and we were seeing that like we're just bombing people like out of nowhere, just innocent people, like it would kind of change your perspective on the war, right? Like it kind of it happened with like the Vietnam War. It was like people were watching the states going to a war that really didn't have any business getting into, and then like watching kind of the horrific things that would happen during it, and the things that they were doing that were bad. No matter how much you like twist it and you try to make it look good, people are always going to kind of just see that it's face value. It's like, oh, we're just killing like innocent people. So it's like that's the best way for them to sort of like control it. And to especially like that's great too, like being like, oh yeah, it's just freedom, we're fighting for Ukrainian people. Like that's the thing they've been saying, is like Ukrainians are like Russians, we're just fighting for their freedom essentially, right? And that's like the way they've been like kind of like twisting this whole thing,
especially with the
just
whole
morphing them into the
like these are like our people, so we're liberating them.
Yeah, especially with like the whole fog of war. It's like all these media outlets just like for what story is coming out now that we can just report on. And a lot of people now will use that to their advantage. So like even if I was doing a military operation, let's say I might set up myself somewhere where you try to make it as secure as possible. Yeah. Right? But if it does get leaked or something, they find your location and it gets bombed or taken out, it's like under a hotel or under this airport or this thing. So then all of a sudden, civilian casualty, and you use that on your side. And they're just hitting civilians, and you use that to play your card. We're innocent, we need more help, we need more supplies, and just feed into it.
That's just evil.
It's just hard to tell.
Yeah, that's true.
Until the end of it, when it comes out, this was going down like
there's military silos underneath the fucking hotels and shit like that. And that's the other thing too, is like oh god, when you like, I mean, obviously when you have media, you could inflate, like especially if you run like a state-run media, kind of like CBC or like like the Russia has their own Russian state media, like you can kind of inflate those numbers too as well, because like if like a missile hits a hotel, and there's like 2 people in there, or it was empty, you can still be like, thousands of people have been hit, blah blah blah, like these are killing innocent people, like we have to fight back, and kind of just like get your people fired up.
Disprove that, right?
Yeah, nobody can disprove it to the end, right? Yeah. And like even like Russia now is like, they were going around like when they're killing civilians, they're like burning the bodies, like getting rid of the bodies, because like there's no way for them to keep an official count of like how many people actually like, died in it and how many of them are actually like civilians. So it's like that's the same way. It's like you're just like erasing like people who were against the regime and be like, well, we liberated all these Russians that wanted this, versus like the 80% of people that didn't want it, versus like the 20% of people that actually did want to be a part of it. It's kind of like, it's fucked up, but they have to. Russia's good at playing the propaganda game. They're doing it for literally since the inception of their country. So
embedded in our elections.
Yeah.
Russia's deep history. I don't really know much about it past Stalin.
Yeah, I mean, Russia was always like, it was like royalty for a long time. Like it was like Tsars and like Russian families and stuff like that. That's why you have like I can't remember like the Alexandros or what. You know what I mean? Like Anastasia, like all those kind of like Russian names. Those are like Russian families. Yeah, exactly. From Fantasia. I think that's kind of based on one. But like that's like the idea. Like these Russian families that were there, and then it was like they had the Tsar, and then I believe when the Tsars were like really bad for a very long succession, then they kind of introduced themselves to like Marxism and like Lenin, and then like kind of opened it up to like dictatorship and like a people's like, I guess it's like a people's republic, I guess you could call it, or like just like a communist regime. But then it was good sort of for the Russian people, but bad for every other country that was a part of it. Essentially, like, you know, the Ukraine had, you know, they obviously had their famine and all those other things, and then, like, you know, they whenever they took over any other country, like every other country that wasn't essentially in like the motherland of Russia like suffered during it. And Russia's like so far north, and they're kind of isolated from the rest of the world as far as like their capital is, so they can kind of just, they have like a very different history compared to like a lot of other like European countries, which have like a lot more interaction. And like during like the world wars and stuff like that, they didn't play a part until like somebody decided to try and conquer Russia, because it's like a very strong landmass and a very strong point. But
And they're like,
yeah,
you throw it towards Russia.
Napoleon, everybody pretty much at that point. Nobody's ever conquered Russia.
Can't conquer Russia.
Can't.
That's why it's this is not looking good.
Yeah.
This is not looking good. I'm gonna say that.
Yep. It's not. I feel like there's no way they can really win. Like, it's not like, I feel like at least not like fighting. I don't think
Like there's no, like, how do you win this?
I guess like, well, the Ukraine would win by pushing Russia out.
Yeah, but they're just gonna come back.
Yeah.
So now you have to live in fear for the rest of your life. That's why Dylan's saying you may as well give it up. But I see that. Like, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna hold your ground for the rest. Like, yeah, a lot of places are doing that. I understand it. But what, like, fuck? What kind of life is that, man?
They've been doing it since like 2014, so they've been holding their ground for a while. I think the other thing too is that Russia like didn't think that they were going to expend as much resources as they initially had planned. So I think that they're also playing a little bit of a scramble game to kind of get everything that they need aligned. Sure, they have might because they're super close to home, right? So they have like missiles and like distant missiles that they can hit, right? But like they're like expending more people and more money than they had like initially planned to expend versus like,
well, I think they had a base plan. And I think they weren't expecting NATO and all these other countries to jump on these sanctions so fast. They probably expected that it would come, but it'd probably be maybe after like a week once they realized. But like pretty much first night that happened, they're like, oh, everybody's getting together the next day doing the sanctions and stuff. And so it hit them hard and fast. And so they needed a lot of extra resources that I think they weren't prepared to pull out right away. It was kind of more like later in their plan when they were planning to draw this out. It was like, oh shit, gotta scramble it a bit faster now.
Yeah, and I think too as well is it's like they thought that like if we hit all their military bases, like essentially spring the war on them, hit all their military bases, and then kind of essentially cut them off from what they like, you know, resources that they need, it'll be easy to sweep from the bottom, get past the river and take Kiev. And I think like in theory it would take them like probably like 6 months, probably something like that. It wouldn't take them very long to do that if it had gone, I think, according to their plan. But like I think that they were fighting back in regions that they didn't expect to fight back as hard, like, and I don't think they expected the Ukrainians to like retreat, regroup, and then like be able to like reassess a new attack way, or like a new way to attack them. So I think that like for them it was like very like, you know, they didn't expect to plan for that. And like Dylan said, like they pulled out more resources. Like the sanctions were pretty quick, and I think they probably expected a little bit more support from like Russia.
But what about that?
Or sorry, China.
What about that plan that got leaked from the Belarusian dude? That said that they were going into the Maldives or whatever down. Like it expanded it past Ukraine.
If that plan was correct, then after Ukraine, Russia would be looking to go into Moldova.
Yeah, Moldova.
Yeah, because they would have Crimea, like they have the Black Sea essentially, and then they would have their whole naval like military. I think I heard something about that too. But I mean,
and then at that point, NATO would definitely have to step in.
Moldova is a part of NATO?
No. Oh. Moldova, and I think the country beside Moldova are not a part of NATO. But it's like sandwiched between two NATO countries, and then that's when you kind of like becomes a very gray area. And then it's like how far you like. I think that's what's beside Moldova.
You acting like you look at the Russian fucking map every day, man. I don't know geometry at all.
Moldova. Oh yeah, Moldova. I think Romania is not a NATO country, but I think Hungary is. Hold on, what's a NATO? What's the NATO countries? Let's
Dun 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 dun.
There's Kiev.
Where?
Right there.
Right, yeah.
Down.
That would be pretty fucked.
Yeah, the Czech Republic's right beside it, and let's see.
Can't imagine this.
Oh no, yeah, they couldn't go past Moldova. I think the other country is not a part of it either, or the country below it's Hungary.
What is Moldova? What do they do there?
Nothing. Most of those European, Eastern
former
European countries
Soviet
don't
Republic.
do anything.
Has varied terrain including forests, rocky hills, and vineyards.
Former
Its
Soviet
wine
Republic?
regions include
They coming back for that shit.
They are
Reds.
trying to rebuild it, but
home to some of the world's largest sellers.
Of what, wine?
Yeah, red wine.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I guess the country beside it, Hungary, is. But they would stretch NATO pretty thin though, because then, the very traditional route is to go through Poland. You take Germany because Germany doesn't have any power, and then you take France like Germany did in World War I and II. You just parade them. That you would.
But why? Yeah, I guess it worked. It worked last time.
It's worked twice, so probably why wouldn't it work a third time?
Should work the third time. That'd be the fucking most. I'm sorry, but the most hilarious shit.
It would be.
The same war path every time. There's been a war.
Yes, that's how Germany's beat France twice.
I know, but it's just like every time. It's like again too. And if it was Russia, it would happen so fast.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be so bad. I could see it all coming down to a head. They're supposed to be talking again, and as they talk, they get bombed. Every time they talk, they get bombed.
I know, because they're trying
to
break them down, trying to dissolve the government. I feel like the only thing Russia wants is for the government to essentially just dissolve, or like wants it to like have a re-election. But like, I don't know, like it doesn't really matter whether or not.
Not at this point. There's no going back now.
Not even at this point, but like, you know, it doesn't even matter if like you have a re-election. Like it's what like Russia's point about like the reason why they don't acknowledge that government is because like I think I talked about this last time, but like they said that like because there was the two provinces and then Crimea were at war or like literally having like, you know, like a civil war sort of, they weren't eligible. Those people weren't eligible to vote. So Russia says that those people, they're essentially trying to cut out pro-Russian people out of the vote, and then, you know, so that they don't acknowledge that this government's a real government because
this is illegitimate government.
Yeah, they're trying to cut.
Is it illegal illegal? Is it racist to do Russian accent? So like, why are some accents not racist, but other accents are? If I'm in a Chinese restaurant and I go, like a somebody, that's racist.
Yes.
Like, like when we were at the pho place and I was like, what did I say?
I don't even want. I don't remember what you said.
What did I say? What did I say? It's so funny. I can't remember. It was funny though. I just
don't try to speak Russian in a Russian restaurant.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No. But is it racist? People do impressions.
Probably,
if I'm doing an impression,
like
you're
the minority. Yeah.
I'm doing the impression though. You know, if I'm a white guy, it's racist. If I'm a black guy.
I think it's
a mixed person. Is it even more?
I think if a white guy does it, just kind of fucking ignorant, just like stupid. But if it's like, I don't know, I feel like I would never really go into a restaurant to do a Russian.
I'm not gonna go. I'm not.
I feel like it'd be like, I don't know. It's the same thing.
In
it's
the
like
restaurant,
ignorant.
I'm not
It's
saying.
Like stupid.
Disregard my story of me.
Or like,
that. I'm just saying doing the accent and all.
I mean, I feel like it's the same question as like if you're. You know, if I went into an Indian restaurant and did an Indian accent, what would you just look at me sideways? You'd be like,
what is up?
Yeah, they'd be like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah,
Like,
I'd
this
laugh
guy okay?
I'd laugh my ass off. It'd be so funny. Is it racist? I don't know. Like, cause like doing like if I did like if I did it Turkish, I don't know how to talk. They talk in Turkey, but if I did Turkish accent
in Turkey,
is that racist? Like,
probably.
Yeah,
So,
like time and place.
yeah, just time and place.
So y'all think I'm a racist?
Yes.
Man,
I'm trying to depict you as racist this whole time, and now we got it on camera.
That's true. That's true.
The Pint, all of these places that hire Jaylin, don't you forget.
Hey man, relax. Whoa. I'm asking hypothetical questions on my podcast. I'm not saying anything is on facts here. Watch my business, man. And with that, we leave you with this episode. We're done, man. We had a good episode. Do we have any closing points? Do you have anything else we need to talk about? No? Do you have any closing points?
No.
Things discussed? Yeah, watch our last episode if you want to spill the tea.
Spill the tea. Catch up with what we're doing. If you're new here on this thingy, welcome. Other than that, catch me in some Crocs next time.
Man, fuck that shit.
You're gonna take me to ABC. Hey man, I still got my employee card. They never technically fired me.
Man, yeah, what's your employee discount? Wow. I mean, it's not even worth it. Is it?
It's not even worth it. You would get what, 3 cents off your Crocs?
Ooh,
you really want that?
That's the savings. If I'm buying Crocs, you know I'm looking for any penny I can get.
You should go to Softmock.
And they have the carrot.
No, how much is it? Here,
I want the carrot.
Look it up. All right, we're done here.
Yeah, we're good.
Shit, if I do it.
Carrot.
Crocs. What do they retail at?